Welcome students. Today's concept is a question tags. This is not any complex and hard topics because I think that you have already know what is question tags. Rather, you have seen question tags, but it may be that you do not identify the question tags. Now, generally, question tags are short phrases, and this is marked with a question mark. And these question tags are added to sentence or any kind of statement. So it is only a phrase and added to a sentence or statement with question marks, like tail of a sentence, and it is used for asking any kind of agreement, any kind of confirmation, or rather the teacher wants to be sure of something. The speaker wants to be sure of something, and for the sake of emphasis. So this is question text is a kind of short phrases which added to a sentence or statement, and it is used for any kind of confirmation or agreement. Like I am giving you one example as he has gone, hasn't he? This hasn't he, or isn't he, or didn't you. This tail of sentence with question mark is actually called the question tags. So now today we will discuss different type of question tags and how we can form the question tag. So this is the first type of question tag that we will deal with. The first one is of auxiliary. That means the statement where auxiliary verb is used. So type 1 auxiliary verb, that is affirmative sentence. That means if the sentence is in affirmative, then what is the rule to make the question tag? Number one is we have to repeat the auxiliary in the interrogative form of question tag. We have to repeat the auxiliary verb. And the if the sentence is affirmative, then the question tag will be in negative, and the speaker expect the answer yes. So these are the three rules, but if I go to the example, then you can easily understand the rules. See, the first example is he has gone, hasn't he? So he has gone. This is the sentence, the statement is affirmative, and auxiliary has is used here. So as the sentence is affirmative, we make the question tag in negative. Not is used here. So plus to minus sign is given, and you see that the auxiliary, that is has, is repeated in the question tag, hasn't he? If you go to the second example, the same thing is there. Ram is a good boy. Here, auxiliary is. The verb is auxiliary. So, is repeated in the question tag. Isn't he? Is repeated. And at the same time, the sentence, as the sentence is in affirmative, we make the tag question in negative. Isn't he? So, not is here added. Isn't he? And the question mark. So the rule is, in case of auxiliary verb, if there is auxiliary verb and the sentence is affirmative, we have to make the question tag in negative, and at the same time we have to repeat the auxiliary verb. Then again we will see the auxiliary verb used, but the sentence will be different. That is type 2 that we will discuss. In type 2, you see, as in the screen, that the sentence is in auxiliary. That means we will see the use of auxiliary verb in the sentence, but the sentence or the statement will be in negative. So the same rule are used here. You see that repeating, the spelling is wrong here. P will be used. Repeating the auxiliary verb in the interrogative question tag, and the question tag will be in affirmative as the main sentence is negative. So the question tag will be in affirmative, and the speaker will expect the answer no. So rather we will directly go to the examples for better understanding. You see the examples. Number one, Raju is not a good student. Is he? See, in this sentence, is auxiliary verb, so is repeated in the question tag. Is he? And as the sentence is in negative, not is used in the sentence, Raju is not a good student, so the sentence is negative, and that is why the question tag is in affirmative. Minus to plus. So the same rule. The in case of auxiliary verb, type 1 and the type 2, both the rules are same, but minus to plus and plus to minus. That is, if the sentence is in negative, then we have to make the question tag in affirmative, and if the question is in affirmative, then we have to make it negative. Same rule are used here. So long I have already discussed the tag questions which with the auxiliary verb. That means the statements, the sentences where auxiliary verbs are used, and how in that sentences it may be negative or it may be affirmative. How we can change, how we can make the tag questions in those sentences. Now, in the next, we will discuss about no auxiliary. That means where no auxiliary verb is used. If no auxiliary verb is used, how we can make it, how we can make there a tag questions. This is our new topic. So now we will discuss the sentence, the statement where auxiliary verb is not used. Only the finite verb is there. You see that this is type 3 and plus to minus, minus to plus. Now, what do you mean by plus to minus and minus to plus? Plus to minus, minus to plus actually indicates negative affirmative sentence to negative sentence. If the sentence is in affirmative, then we have to make the tag question in negative, and vice versa. That is, if the statement in negative, then we have to make the question tag in affirmative. So this the rule are same. The rules are same. Now, if there is no auxiliary verb, so we cannot repeat the auxiliary verb because there is no auxiliary verb itself. So how can we repeat? So there we have to follow the rule that we should use the verb to do. That means we have to use the verb do, different form of the do. That is according to the tense used. According to the tense used in the sentence. According to the tense used in the sentence or statement. Like we have to use do, does, did, didn't, don't, doesn't, etc. etc. According to the sentences, according to the tense of the sentences. Now directly we will go to the examples for better understanding. You see the first example, what is written? Plus to minus. That means the statement already written is in affirmative, and that is why we have to make the question tag in negative. Now come to the verb. They went to Kolkata. Here only one finite verb went is used and it is in past tense. There is no auxiliary. So as there is no auxiliary, we cannot repeat the verb, auxiliary verb. Then we have to use do verb. So do verb I used here didn't because the sentence is in simple past. As went is simple past, so I used here did. And you know why I have used not. Here not is used to make it negative as the sentence was affirmative. So the simple rule is there. So whatever the type of sentence, auxiliary verb is used or not, don't bother about it. You have to make the question tag in negative if the statement is affirmative, and you have to make the question tag affirmative if the sentence is negative. Just keep it in your mind, these things. Like and in case of no auxiliary, in case of finite verb, we have to we have to bring the verb do, that is do, does, did, don't, and etc etc, according to the tenses used here. So far, we have discussed the different parts of different areas of the question tags. So this is only the brief introduction of the question tag. There are other parts of question tags, other areas of question tags, but you see that for student class 8, 9, and 10 onwards, these things will work. If you keep in your mind these things only, this much about the question tag, then you can easily proceed further. I hope that you have already seen this type of question tags while reading your textbooks. Now, it will be better if you try to find out what kind of sentences are there where the question tags are used, and in which way are they used. So just while reading the textbook or unseen paragraph or something like that, you try to follow which question tags is used here, and try to match with your understanding that is everything is okay or not. So this much today. Next time I will also come with another video for your better understanding. Do comment on it, and also you can also write me what topic do you need most to understand, and if the language is comfortable to you or not. So please comment on it. Thank you for today.